Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review. That's not the correct intro. The correct intro is What's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, I did all my antics in the first video. So if you would like to join in on the antics, you just have to watch the first video, the one that posted before this one. At least I'm hoping that's the way it's going to go in order. You never know with YouTube, because if they flag shit, then I got to change it around. First story up. We're getting to the point, which is really ridiculous, that we're going to have to retire Ray J, which just doesn't even sound right, because why is Ray J on social media? Why are we talking about him so much in the first fucking place? Okay, we're not even talking about Ray J possibly promoting anything other than himself, because he's truly being Ray J. But it's gotten to the point where I'm wondering, like, do we need somebody to schedule an intervention? I'm not sure if this is drug use, alcohol use, if there may be some mental struggles there. You know, everybody on social media, you know, even the people that we love, folks still do struggle with their mental health. There are still people that have many, many issues. Just because they're rich and famous and everything, that does not mean that everything that they say or do makes sense. All right. And that's where we are with Ray J. So I told you guys last week about Ray J possibly getting into, not possibly, it did happen. He got into a kerfluffle with the Combs boys when they were at a club and saw him. It was broken up by Hazel Lee and Chris Brown, child. I mean, talk about fucking random people, okay? So we already was talking about, you know, him being out there, and the Combs boys were mad at Ray J because, to make a long story short, he's been talking bad about Puffy. And I think that while people can probably believe the things that Ray J says about Puffy, I'm sure the boys look at it like, you have been in those very same environments. You know our father. You know, why can't you take the stance that many other people have taken and just not say shit? I mean, what is it that you feel that you need to talk, especially when you might have been involved in some of the, you know, some of the shit, not necessarily the freak offs and the shit that that Puffy has been to, but you know, Ray J has probably been a part of some things. I mean, we are never going to forget that people still believe that he has something to do with Whitney Houston's death. I don't believe that, but there is plenty of folks out there who do believe that. He was the last person apparently that she was around. She was very off that entire weekend. We saw that she was on drugs. She was acting erratically and all that. And they used to say that Ray J would provide her with the drugs. And remember, her and Ray J were kind of messing around with each other, which is just so crazy because Whitney Houston is older than I am. Ray J is much younger than I am. Okay, so just that whole mix is weird to begin with. So yeah, Ray J, you know, he's had his own talk negative about things that he may have been involved in. Nothing that he's been charged for, obviously, but you know, so I'm sure that that's why the boys was like, nigga, fuck you, because you know, you ain't been right 100% your entire life either, and now you come and trying to, you know, so there's that. Now we've got Ray J the other day, just out the blue, goes on social media. And remember, he's been in interviews on TMZ, you know, talking about, you know, people been reaching out to me, you know, because I believe they think that they can trust me. I don't even really know why they calling me, but they calling and they telling me these things. What are they telling you? Like, you know, what they did with Puffy? Yes. Okay. I don't even know why I said that, but it's out there. So I already said it. So whatever. Okay. Come get me. That's what he said. I was just like, Ray J, why are you even in the fray? Nobody's asked Ray. Well, of course, now people are asking Ray J, but before, nobody was saying, oh, I wonder what Ray J thinks about this whole Puffy thing. Okay. And you've got Ray J out there, and I don't know if I think that he's doing it because he obviously gets a high off of a lot of chaos around him and a lot of people believing that he knows the inside stories of the antics that was going on with Puffy at these freak offs and his after parties and all that, you know. Ray J is an attention seeker. Ray J loves to put 20 on 10. He loves to throw the stone and hide his hand. He loves to play the victim. He always acts like he don't know why people is doing this, why folks is calling him, why folks is shooting at him, because that's the newest thing. Now he says that, you know, he was shot at. Well, didn't you just say in the TMZ interview, come get me? Although I don't believe that he was shot at, because unless we got a shell casing and a fucking bullet that went into a wall or wherever that bullet landed in the car, you know, around him, that he can actually 100% say, or you got it on video that you can actually 100% say that somebody shot at you. Otherwise, I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it. Okay. Ray J is on something right now. I don't know if it's a substance. I don't know what, but there is a break there somewhere in the cogs. Something in the machinery, something that's happening. And Ray J is kind of in this whole manic, like every time you turn around, it's something with Ray J. The newest thing is he got on to Twitter, or maybe it was Instagram, I don't know, one of the social media platforms, and he was just like, don't put this video out. Now, apparently he was in an interview with Jamal Bryant. Jamal Bryant has a podcast that's called Let's Be Clear, the Jamal Bryant podcast. I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't want my pastor to be on a podcast, y'all. What happened to just regular old pastors, just went to church, did the word, gave the scripture, gave y'all that, you know, we have vacation Bible school, and, you know, you stay after church some days, and, you know, there might be a second service, and, you know, little old man ain't really had too much money, but knew the word and made sure you knew the word, always had some candies in his pockets for the kids and shit. Okay, lived a pretty meager life, wasn't flashy. Like, where them pastors at, y'all? They don't exist anymore. Okay, now we got pastors that got fucking podcasts. I mean, it's a business, you guys. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just, anyway, apparently he went on this podcast with Jamal Bryant, and I guess whatever the conversation was about, I'm assuming that some of it probably overlaps the topics that I was just talking about with Puffy and all that. Probably the Kim Kardashian shit and all that, you know, and what's going on with him and Prinky and all. I'm sure all that came up. I don't know what was said in the interview because it hasn't dropped yet, but he is now threatening Jamal Bryant and saying, if that interview go up, somebody getting snatched out the pulpit. I'm just saying, I love Jamal Bryant. Jamal Bryant, that's my brother. I love him and everything, but don't put that interview out. If you don't take it down right now, it's going to be some problems. All right. Now, we still don't even know what the fuck the damn topic was. We wouldn't even have known about this podcast if he would have just handled this with Jamal Bryant. Why you need to come to social media to explain to us that you don't want us to see the video that you're talking about. Baby, we wouldn't even have known about it till you said something. That right there ought to let you know that Ray J only likes attention. Okay, negative, positive, it don't matter. As long as it's on him, that's what Ray J likes. Okay, so yeah, he's telling us about this secret video that it would have stayed secret if he stayed quiet. Okay, you and Jamal could have a conversation like Jamal Bryant said when he responded, and maybe they will cut that part of the interview out. Ray J don't want none of the interview to go. Okay, now apparently after they did this interview, maybe Ray J was not happy about the things that he said, thought twice about it, maybe said some names, dropped some names and all that he can be sued, or maybe even worse. Okay. And Jamal Bryant must have realized, and his people realized that as well. Not only is Ray J probably going to be in trouble, but if it's his podcast, it's his show, then it could also fall on him legally. Okay. So yes, he has already agreed to Ray J. Okay, we're going to take that part out. We agreed to that, and that's what Jamal Bryant says. Jamal says, listen, I love Ray J. He's a pillar of the community. I mean, he didn't say this, but he might as well. He's a great person, a pillar of the community. He does all these great things. Everyone knows him for his great deeds and acts. Okay, I have a tremendous respect for him, the brother, this, blah, 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 blah. But long story short, Jamal was just like, the interview is still going to go up. We're going to take out the part that we had already agreed needed to be removed, and we were moving on from there. Okay. But as of today, which is Thursday, the 14th of November, it still hasn't gone up. So they're probably going to scrap the interview because it's just way too much mess around it. But they were talking like they had no plans of scrapping it. So the interview may still surface, but Jamal Bryant ain't been a Christian his whole fucking life, and he don't strike me as the type of man that likes to be threatened by another man, especially on social media. Okay, so it's just sort of like, I understand you being a little salty about this, Ray, but again, Jamal looked like he might have a safe at the house with some shit in there too, So it's just sort of like, we'll see where it goes. I don't want it to go anywhere. It shouldn't go anywhere. It's like I said, we don't even know what the fuck the thing you talking about. I'm just sick of Ray J. I'm sick of him, and him talking about him getting shot at and how it's dangerous out there for him. He just wants everybody to just be like, oh, Ray J this and Ray J that and Ray J. I said, I know that damn King Sonya over there fucking just over it. Because it's like every now and then Ray J will be gone, and then he'll just resurface, and it'll just be all of this shit, and then he just goes away again. I think when he goes away, that's when the king was able to wrangle the nigga in and have him sit his ass down. See, King Sonya, he probably ain't answering her calls right now. But that mama always has the last word. She gonna get a hold of him, and he gonna go away, and we ain't gonna hear it. But for now, while everybody is clamoring around Ray J and want to interview with him, I mean, this man is on TMZ. He is on, what was the other show that I was watching? And he was, the first one, when he had pissed off the Combs boys, he was on another like legitimate news show. It was just like, this is Ray J. You guys are really taking this man seriously. Okay. Just ridiculous. So that's what's going on there. I think that we ain't quite ready to retire him, but child, somebody need to sit down with Ray, because what is wrong with him? Where is Brandy? Brandy, get a hold of your brother. He needs your help, child. Now, I guess while we're talking about Puffy a little bit, we might as well just throw one small little Puffy story in there. They're saying that they're still trying to get Puffy out of jail. Okay. Still trying to get the man on house arrest at his house. No contact with nobody. I think they've said now that they will give $50 million. Like, this man really wants to get out of jail. $50 million. In addition to, like, nobody can come over. He won't talk to nobody on the phone. He blah, blah, blah. Like, this man basically is going to be sitting in his house by himself quiet. Okay. So far, they haven't said that they were going to let him out, but you guys know that his trial is in May, somewhere around Cinco de Mayo of next year. And so that's a long time to still be sitting in the jailhouse. Okay. He's trying to get out. They're still hammering away at it. I kind of have a feeling that they're going to let him out. They don't seem to care about that money, because $50 million is a lot of money. Like, that can clear the budget of a lot of offices in the courthouse. Okay. Like, that can help out a lot. So, but it's obviously not a money thing. They just do not want to let Puffy go. But yeah, they're still trying to get him out. Also, one of the lawsuits filed against him was a Jane Doe girl. Okay. Apparently, the judge that was overseeing that lawsuit dismissed the case and said that you can't file this case as a Jane Doe. Okay, if you're going to be going, full steam ahead, then we need to know your name as well. So she refiled the case, and this time she put her name on it. Her name is Candace McCrary. So now she has her case. She has put her name out there. So yes, looks like Miss Candace means business there. All right, that's pretty much what I got on Puffy. I mean, it's more stuff. I just saw an interview that Shine did with, who was he talking to? Stephen A. Smith. And, Shine is finally just like kind of letting it all out. I mean, he's always kind of stuck to the same story. He's just hasn't been as vocal. So, you know, if you asked him one question, he would just answer that one question and that was it. Okay. He's always maintained that he was innocent, but now he is speaking out, really fully speaking out and saying that, you know, it was obvious that he didn't do it. He took the fall for it. Puffy did not help him out in any kind of way. There was no like gift waiting for him after he got out of jail. Like, oh, you know, there was no, I'm going to take care of your family while you're in jail. It was just like, I was thrown to the wolves. I was in jail. I did my time. I came out. I decided to make, you know, lemonade out of lemons. And, you know, he turned well, it was nothing to turn around. He wasn't like he wasn't in trouble, you know, but he got out of jail and then he became involved in politics, and he was, you know, it was important for his homeland and Belize, you know, for him to be there. And now he's a prime minister, or is he the prime minister? He's, you know, he's something in politics over there. And he's just speaking out like, yeah, Puffy is the devil. Like, he actually said that, like, he felt like Puffy was the devil. And, you know, even though he mentored him for that 1 year that they worked together before he ended up going to jail, you know, he did learn a lot in the business, and he did learn a lot from Puffy. However, he is just like, yeah, you know, and now he just chooses to not talk about it and move forward. He's, you know, got another life, and he's out the country, and he's living his life down there and trying to do the best that he can. So yeah, so if you guys saw that interview, like I said, it's with Stephen A. Smith. But that's it on Puffy. That's it on Puffy. Let's move on to the next story. All right, you guys, the YSL trial. They say that the jury returned back to court, and that is because even though Young Thug, mama named him Jeffrey Wright, has been removed from, I mean, not removed, but he was, you know, the commuted sentence. He's at home. He's free. You know, of course, he's on probation. He's got to stick to all of these things, but he is out of jail. However, the case is not over, because remember I told you guys that there were still some people that had not struck deals. I don't even know if they were offered plea deals. And so they still have court. So the jury is back in, and yeah, that's where we're at with it. So we have Shannon Stillwell and Diamante Kendrick, okay? SB and Yak Gotti, respectively. Those two are still in jail, and they're still being linked to a bunch of illegalities when it came to YSL. You know, depending on who you ask, that's going to be Young Slime Life or Young Stoner Life. Young Stoner Life being the label, Young Slime Life being the gang. Now, this case has become the longest running case in Georgia court history. So there's that one for the history books, you guys. Also, they're saying that attorney Kayla Bumpus married one of the defendants in the YSL trial. Remember the Shannon Stillwell guy that I spoke of? Yeah, they're saying that these two are married. So Kayla kind of has like a little bit of a sordid past with the defendants on this trial. Apparently, she used to date Kenneth Copeland. Okay, Kenneth Copeland, also known as Little Wody. All right, the one that was always up on the pulpit, child, up on the witness stand and speaking. Remember, he fired her. Remember, he fired his lawyer. Okay, them two apparently were involved at one time, and now they're saying that even though she was involved with Lil Wode, now they're saying that she actually married the Shannon Stillwell guy. I don't know how this works though, because is the boy still in jail? How you marry somebody that's in jail? I don't know. This story don't sound right. I must have something wrong. I have something mixed up here. Now, his lawyer, Max Shart, came to Twitter to defend his client and explain to everyone that the Shannon that's mentioned in the marriage license is not the one that's currently on trial, even though the person on the marriage license has the exact same name as the person that is on trial. All right. And we know that she was involved with the Little Wody guy. So folks are not really believing that story. They're also saying that while it hasn't been confirmed, but there has been text messages between her and the Shannon guy in jail. They're saying that the license, yes, you guys, something is wrong here, because they're saying that the license was applied for on August 12th and they got married on August 25th, and the marriage was officially recorded on September 2nd. To me, if she married this Shannon Stillwell, if he was in jail, like it seems like that would be open and shut. Like they would know that that's that person. So that's why I'm like confused on this. Maybe you guys might know. Did I leave? I missed something in the story, y'all. But they're saying that if the man does get out of jail and he is free, she has a home in Texas, Houston, I think it is. And so, you know, maybe it'll be better for him to get out and just relocate to Texas with his new wife and live his life there and lead his Atlanta YSL young slime life, young stoner life shit alone. Okay. But yeah, that's what they're saying. So it's still drama with the YSL trial. We still haven't gotten word whether or not the feds are going to pick it up. For now, Thug is at home. His daddy is pissed. He feels like everybody is trying to use his son and that they weren't there for him, you know, ahead of time. So yeah, there's all of that as well. But yeah, y'all, they say that old girl, what's her name? Kayla. Oh, Miss Bumpus is out there having a good time with the defendants on the trial. What y'all think about that? Girl, I know we like a bad boy and everything, but girl, maybe you was a little too committed to the cause. Anyway, y'all, when we find out more about it, I'm sure I'll let you know. All right, next story. All right, you guys, so they're saying that Bryson Leaks cannot be found after striking a plea deal. Leaks. I wonder, is his last name Leaks? Because I know he's not Greg's son, but did Greg adopt him? I'm not sure. But so his last name might not be Leaks. That might just be my typo. But anyway, according to court documents, you guys, they're saying that the probation officer that was assigned to Bryson had 2 occasions where he was not able to reach Bryson. Bryson did not come and report like he was supposed to. This was on August 14th and September 30th. Okay, he said he tried to call Bryson on his cell phone. There was no answer. He checked the jail records to make sure that the man hadn't been placed in jail. He was not in jail. They sent a letter to Bryson's house, his last known address anyway, and there was no answer there. The point that the probation officer is trying to make is that he didn't get to put his eyes on Bryson. So yes, he has done all of his due diligence. He's been trying to find this boy, cannot find him. So now it looks like they're going to put out a warrant for the boy's arrest. Now, the plea deal that was reached back in May over his fentanyl possession, because this is all over a fentanyl charge. Remember, I told you guys a story about how he was at somebody's house and they called the police and they came and he had fentanyl on him and he gave his brother Brent's name in place of his name. This is that same case. Well, they dismissed the possession of a Schedule II controlled substance charge, and in return, he agreed to plead guilty to a misdemeanor charge of giving false information to a law enforcement officer. He was also sentenced to 12 months of probation. He had to do some community service, and he also needed to pay a $500 fine. Okay. And of course, you have to check in with your probation officer to make sure you're on the straight and narrow. You get drug tested and all of that. So I'm sure he was trying to avoid that, because if he has this raging addiction that even Nene has told us that, you know, he is like really under the ravages of drug addiction, then that's probably why he did not show up at his probation officer's meetings, you know. So that's a sad situation there. You know, many of us have been involved with people that have addiction issues and things like that. You know, it's tough to break. It takes the family through a lot of changes. You know, I feel sorry for Nene and her family that they have to deal with this. But yeah, this is where we are with it. They cannot find Bryson. Well, at least at the time when I was doing these notes, he might have been, you know, he may have turned up by now. But yeah, y'all, let's just hope that this boy can, you know, get this addiction situation taken care of, because he's never going to be able to get his life on track while he's also trying to battle that. And like Nene said, you know, it's going to have to be something that he wants to do. There's nothing else that she or anybody else can do. I know he has kids and family and all, so hopefully, you know, those things will be important for him enough that he will try to make, you know, the change and get off these drugs. But that's that on that, you guys. Let's move on to the next story. And then lastly, you guys, in quickies, Brooke from Basketball Wives, she said that she does not know Jim Jones. Okay, don't know where the story came from. You know, that's basically what she said. There's a whole interview that's talking about it, but that's basically it. So some shit that was made up. Remember, I told you guys that there's some weird thing going around where folks are saying that couples are breaking up that have no intention of breaking up. There's no problems, and nobody knows where the story is coming from. We've already had it with the Brat and Judy. We've had it with Fantasia and her husband. And now we've got it with Jim Jones and Chrissy, even though they're not married, but you know, long-term relationship that they're acting as if they don't know where that rumor came from either. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. Congratulations are in order to Raz B. Mama named him Demario Monte Thornton. He and his wife have had their baby. Now, I didn't know the man was married. Okay, but that's good. You know, he's trying to start his family, you know, the right way. I know y'all gonna give me hell for that. I'm just playing. I mean, y'all know I'm old school. I want people to be married, but I always got to tell you that everybody ain't got to be married when they have kids. I realize shit happens. Okay, don't come for me. But anyway, yes, they've had their baby. The baby was a boy. We named him Versailles Carter Thornton, and they say that the baby was born on October 10th. Was it? Yes, October 10th. He was 8 pounds, 12 ounces. Okay. And he actually put out a statement that says, I've got my wife, my kids, and my mental health. God has given me another chance at life, and my relationships have been restored. Okay. We just want happiness for Rasby, so I hope that works out for him. Okay. Babies are a blessing. So congratulations to the happy couple. Someone wanted me to tell you that Quincy Jones, they finally told us how he did pass. I mean, he's 91 years old, so he passed to me from being, you know, old age. But the official coroner's report is saying that he died from pancreatic cancer. Now, allegedly, there's a story going around that, you know, he has 7 children. There's a story going around that he left each of his children $80 million apiece. Okay. And I call bullshit on the story. Not that I don't believe that Quincy Jones had buku money, you know, and was extremely wealthy. And of course, I believe that he would leave his fortune to his children because that seemed like that was the type of man that he was. Something about just this particular 80 million. I mean, honestly, it could have been more. It could have been more or it could have been less. But the fact that this the number is going around. First of all, I don't see any of Quincy Jones's family kids telling people how much money that they were given. Okay. So it's like somebody came up with that number and that number has just run. Like I said, he could have given them more or it could have been less. I'm sure he left them the fortunes though. Okay. But just something about, oh, he gave them each $80 million. It was just like, they don't seem like a family that is going to put that type of information out. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't believe that number. 80 million. I don't know. Anyway, they say that Winnie Harlow and Meg the Stallion got into it at what was his name? Mark Rubio. No, that's a politician, right? Mark Rubin, his white party. Oh, was that the party that the big party that, you know, Drake was at looking real sad? Was that party? Anyway, apparently Meg had approached Winnie over some tweets that she had put out back when the Tory Lanez trial was happening. I guess, is Winnie Harlow from Canada? Is she Canadian? I don't know if she is or isn't. We know that Tory is from Canada. Maybe she was supporting a friend and all that. However, the way that she was supporting Tory, it meant that she was not supporting Meg, and maybe Meg and Winnie had some sort of friendship, or maybe Meg thought that they had some sort of understanding or friendship, or, you know, at least an acquaintance, or maybe the fact that, did I say acquaintance? I know that's not a word, bitch. Acquaintance. Or maybe she just thought that it was the girl code and, you know, that she would stand with her, but that's not how it worked. I've heard many stories about Winnie Harlow not being necessarily the nicest girl. I mean, I've heard that about Meg as well. So, yeah, we probably had 2 very hot-headed girls, you know, coming up against each other. Depending on who you ask, they had a full-blown argument at this party. One side will say that, the other side will say that Meg approached Winnie and Winnie apologized and took whatever the tweet or tweets were down. I don't know. And I didn't research it long enough to even, because I don't care. Okay. But yeah, these two did. The main parts of the story is true. These two got into it, and it was at the party. Hopefully them girls work it out, girl, because we got the ladies, we got to stick together, child. We got to stick together. Don't need no fighting. They're also saying that Quincy and Al B. Sure done fell out again, y'all. So he's on the outs. Y'all know these two go back and forth. And usually it's because of Quincy's approach to how he feels about Puffy, as opposed to how Al B. Sure feels about Puffy. There's a little delicate dance that these two always do, and sometimes it works out okay, and other times it don't. Most of the time it don't. We are now on the don't again. These two are not getting along. I'll be sure put up a hashtag that said free Quincy, because I'll be sure is convinced the boy is brainwashed. They said that PNB's girlfriend wasn't the cause of them getting robbed at the Roscoe's. I mean, I thought we had already assumed that. I thought that we had finally realized that this girl wasn't, that they weren't targeted because of her tweeting their location. Is just the fact that they actually saw them driving into the parking lot, and that's where the whole plot happened. Okay. So I guess people were still harassing her about that, because I was just like, why are we discussing this? But yeah, there's a whole interview. Somebody is talking about it and saying that she wasn't at fault. So, I mean, I guess some people still owe her an apology. And then lastly, you guys, congratulations are also in order for Candace Dillard and Chris Bassett. They have their bouncing baby boy, you guys. That's right, little Jet Maxwell Lee. Okay. They're excited. And Candace says that she already wants more children. All right. That's usually a good sign when you want kids and your first child is only a month old. Because, bitch, when I had my first child, I was like, bitch, you can't pay me to have a fucking another child. But, after time goes on and you feel good about things, then you'd be like, okay, maybe I can do it. But I'm telling you, them first few, whew. But no, she's saying already immediately she can't be any happier. She said that she knows that it's cliche, but just having the baby in the house just has made them come closer, her and Chris, as a unit. I said, and it probably helps that you don't have that damn stressful ass show in your life, and you can enjoy motherhood with your husband. Okay. So, two things can be true. Now, like I said, this is their first child together, Candace's first child, but it's not Chris's first child. Chris has 3 children. I didn't know he had 3. I only thought he had 2, but he has 3. He has Owen, who's 22. I guess Owen was like, keep me off that shit. Don't put me on the show. I got a life to live, and it does not entail dealing with Real Housewives of Potomac. But yeah, he has a 22-year-old named Owen. He has the 14-year-old Mateo, which we saw on the show, and Naya, who is 10, who we also saw on the show. They're from previous relationships. Okay. But yes, little Jet was 5 pounds, 11 ounces. That's what Jada weighed when she was born. And he was born about a month ago. We don't know the exact dates, but somewhere in October, the baby was born. He is now 8 pounds as of November 7th. So congratulations to the happy couple. All right, you guys, that is it. Before we go, I must give a happy birthday shout out to the Miss Tasia Show. You guys have probably seen her on Instagram. She always leaves me topics for Top of the Blog. I mean, she always has been very supportive and always, leaves messages, and we talk and all of that. And I just wanted to make sure that I told you happy birthday. Not sure exactly what day is your birthday. I kind of feel like it's already passed, but you know how some of y'all young folks act. Y'all feel like the whole fucking month is your birthday. So I mean, fine, it's fine. It's your birthday month. It's your birthday month. I know you a Scorpio. That's what I do know. Happy birthday to you. I hope you enjoyed / enjoy your birthday whenever it is. Okay, and I'm gonna get on off of here. We do this every single week, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back.